if you can see behind me, the whole valley is absolutely full of smoke, and that's coming from a wildfire that is burning to the west of Madrid, and the wind is blowing it all this way. And yeah, it's pretty wild. And I think in Bordeaux they've got more than 200,000 people currently evacuated because of wildfires. So yeah, we remain vigilant as always. But I've actually come down here to the tiny house where I really have let things slip for rather too long. Well, certainly long enough for wasps to build a nest inside the scaffolding. So that is going to have to be sorted out. And coming inside, open the door relatively gently, because we've got something fascinating and scary at the same time in here, in that we've got a hornet's nest being built. But these hornets are going to have to go, I'm afraid. We can't risk working on a roof with them up there, even though it is an absolutely amazing structure. They are not European hornets. They are Vespa velutina, and that's the variety that is decimating all the bees. So, yeah, sorry guys, you're going to have to go. I might be running quite quickly later on. Still, yeah, back to this Spanish wildfires. I was reading that they've actually got rather a crazy situation on their hands at the moment, because they can't use some of their aircraft, and it happens to be that these aircraft are some of the most, how should we say, adapted to fighting fires in this sort of area. They're helicopters. Now, the reason they can't use them is because they're grounded, and the reason they're grounded is because they are Russian and they require Russian engineers and Russian spare parts. So because of the conflict in the Ukraine, the fires can't be put out so effectively. That's definitely one of the laws of unintended consequences coming into play there.
I was very pleased when Kiko and Chloe offered to come and help out with the tiny house. First of all, we sorted through various rocks and stones. And then it was on to making the mortar. We're using lime mortar as usual rather than cement. And then it was standing around watching the mix. We're just putting in thin slips of stone here to cover up the wood that is sort of forming the part of the roof.
Flat.
So it's more decorative than anything else.
Non.
Non, parce qu'il faut mettre une après.
Il faut mettre une par-dessus.
Ouais.
Oh, c'est pas grave, en fait, on peut juste le mettre du mortier. Hein. Ça va pas se voir, en fait.
Then it's off to the lake to cool down in the hot afternoon.
Météorologico, donc c'est...
La mini caméra.
We're actually leaving the farm and going to Wales for Zoe's graduation ceremony. We often joke that Portugal is Wales but with sunshine. We've also got a rather large fire over the other side of the valley, so we've got our fingers crossed that it's not going to come any closer.
Bit of glamour. And here we are at Aberystwyth South Beach for Zoe's graduation. So beautiful weather today. Say hello everybody.
Hello.
So we're going to go in the sea.
Yeah.
Nice.
The weather in Wales was absolutely gorgeous, and of course we took straight to the seaside.
Just need to get in.
Aberystwyth is a really pretty little town. It's got lots of little shops and boutiques and what have you to look around, and it's got some nice pubs as well. After a good explore, it was soon time to go up and meet Zoe up at the graduation hall at the university.
Cool, that sun up on the ridge.
Very nice. And look at Eddie, he's looking very smart.
Then on into the graduation hall and the ceremony started.
And rydys ddibreis gan hedlo cylhwyn ac hi fyfyrwyr o'n cadran ni a enillodd radd baglo mewn gwyddoniaeth, Zoe Howard.
Being Wales, the whole ceremony was conducted in Welsh, and we didn't get a programme, so we had no idea what was going on, but it was fun anyway.
Do you want one? No. You're not allowed to make a nasty face at my camera.
No, but you're allowed to go like that.
We had some brilliant fish and chips on the pier and didn't get anything stolen by the seagulls because they were flying around all over the place. We stayed with some lovely friends of ours who run a B&B just outside Aberystwyth, and they were kind enough to take us to Borth, where we went paddleboarding and kayaking. So thanks very much indeed to Matt and Alex. Great to see you guys.
Nice. Paddling off into the sunset.
Before we knew it, our time in Wales was up, and it was time to go back to Portugal and to find out what was going on there.
Maya's decided that she's a chicken. She is inside the chicken.
What is your mother doing?
Out. Come on. Stop hoovering. Come on. I took a few minutes to fill up the water tank using the new pipe that I put in from the reservoir at the top of the land. And then I put the lid back on just so that mosquitoes couldn't get in and out. Don't want them about.
Wow, I've never seen a sunrise like this. Look at that.
The sun rising through the smoke was truly astonishing. The next task was to unload the wood that I ordered. We haven't really got any big trees on the Quinta that are fit for firewood, and in any case I don't really want to cut any trees down anymore. So hopefully this will see us all the way through the winter, but it did take us 45 minutes to unload the whole truckload. Anyway, that's us coming to the end of the video. Thank you very much indeed for watching. Please do like, subscribe and all that lot. It's really nice to have you on the journey, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.
Wow, that was hot work, but we now have a large pile of wood up here and another one here, so with any luck that should get us nicely through the winter. And now all I've got to do is think about stacking it under cover, but I think I'm going to have to sit down before I do